My family are racist.
They forget that I'm in the room.
They have money or their position in church.
My child is going to be half black.
Someone's stalking me now.
I'm not going to let my child be treated the same way that I'm treated.
I cut them off.
My name is Daniel Chitombi.
My name is Ingrid Rose Salvin. I grew up in Chatsworth, Durban. I think we were kind of like outcasts because my family didn't treat us nicely.
And I grew up in Zimbabwe, and I also grew up in South Africa, Richards Bay. I grew up in a very healthy household emotionally, but financially we were shambles.
We both have a mutual friend. She used to come stay over and my parents weren't at home. She says, "Hi, can I bring my friend Daniel over?" And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And I've never met a black person with an English name before. So I thought it was a white guy. I was cooking and he walked through the door and he was kind of like I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, first sight.
I still remember what he was wearing and and he made the first move.
She messaged me, she said, "Hey Daniel, do you want to come over for a sleepover?" Then I said, "Oh, okay." So usually when we do sleepovers, it was usually me, Pixie, my other friend Dumi. So we just go to her house and play PlayStation or something or chill. And then we got to Ingrid's house and I was like, "Oh, who's this?" She's like, "No, it's another friend of mine." And then I saw Ingrid and sheesh.
I didn't even look good that day.
What were you making? I think it was a curry.
I think so.
Oh, it was delicious. Yeah, it was love at first sight.
I think for me, seeing Daniel, I think first impression was he's a good-looking guy. Very playful, very always joking about something, always laughing, and he always had his phone out to take videos. We still have a video from that day.
Yes, from the day we met.
Yes, and he was trying on my parents' cowboy hats and playing with our dogs and doing everything. So.
Yeah, my first impression of Ingrid, as soon as I walked into the kitchen, I was in love. Mind me, Ingrid was my first ever girlfriend, ever. I had never dated anyone before her, and I was 21 years old that time, right? I went into the kitchen, I saw her, and I was just mesmerized. We spoke a little bit, and yeah, the whole time I was just thinking, okay, this is the person. I asked her out for food the next day. It was her first date ever, by the way. It was. Oh,
I was so shy because I don't eat in front of people.
Yes.
So I didn't even finish my food.
She kept eating like this.
Yeah, small.
We dated a little bit. And then they moved to Joburg, and I was all the way in Richards Bay. So the distance was not working. We couldn't deal with a long distance relationship. So in 2022, December, we broke up. March 2023, there was a Bethel music concert that was happening in Pretoria. Saw her for the day, and then I left. We just spoke. A couple of weeks later, she came to Richards Bay because it was her brother's birthday. And then I went and saw her at the B&B that we're staying. We were just talking all night. And then when she was supposed to go back home, she called her mom. "I
don't want to come back with you guys to Pretoria." I think it was a couple months after then we had actually moved in together. Like
properly. Ingrid stayed in with a friend and then I moved in. And then I got another place and I was renting with my other friend, Andumi, so we split the rent. So we were hustling. We really started from the ground level. That's when I was only earning 4.5. Before we met each other's parents, Ingrid's mom, I met her 2 days later. When she came back from the business trip they went to, I was working at Verymark at that time and I was standing behind the counter. Then I saw this one white lady just walking full speed to me and I made eye contact with her and I could see she was coming up to me and I was worried. I thought maybe it's like an angry customer coming to me, and then she walked up into the shop. It was during COVID, so I was wearing my mask. And then she came, she grabbed my mask, she pulled it down, she looked at me, she went, "Oh, you're good looking." And that, I was like, what is going on? I was like, what is going on here? And then she's like, "Oh, I'm Ingrid's mom, by the way." I was really nervous. And that's how I met Ingrid's mom. But then Ingrid meeting my parents last year, I took quite long. I'm black. You don't take a girl home unless you know you're going to marry her.
I was also very scared to meet his mom because I respected her a lot. There was a lot of stories that Daniel told me about her. So I felt that she would notice things about me that I didn't like.
Well, as soon as I told my parents I'm in love with this girl and she is half white, half Indian, and then my mom met her, my mom loved her too. Yeah, my family is very accepting of her. There was 0% backlash.
My family, of course, they are racist, so they weren't very accepting of Daniel. I think it was the It was the random comments sometimes towards either him or Black people, and how we dealt with it. I cut them off. Someone in my family did tell me that I could date anyone I wanted. I could even be gay, but they would prefer if I didn't date a Black person. And the person, we were supposed to spend Christmas with them, and tells me, no, we would prefer it if you came, but you leave Daniel at home because this other person is not comfortable being around Black people. Someone else uses the K word very openly. And the other day, this person visited me at work and came for a fight. And now I was standing there arguing, and the two girls that work there, the person decided to bring them into the conversation, saying that even them, the two Black girls, need to accept. They tell me Black people need to toughen up and get over racism, and that she can't feel like she's walking on eggshells because Black people take everything so sensitively.
One incident which threw me over the rail, because I'm very calm. This person, right, they found shoes at the beach. And then when we visited them, Ingrid and I, this person walks up to me and then hands me, and then they said, oh, I found the shoes at the beach. Maybe you can give them to your mother.
The shoes look like para shoes.
They were para shoes. They were stuck together with wires. I'm not lying to you. This happened. When we told the story to my mom,
she was so hurt.
Yeah, she was actually crying. So after that happened, that was actually my tipping point. That's when I told Ingrid that I cannot have these people around my child, because if they're going to treat my mother, because before the racism was always directed to me. This is my family now. This is my wife now. This is my family to protect. She's technically half Black with me now because she experiences everything I experienced. I'm not gonna make Ingrid not talk to her family, but I did tell her that I'm having a child and my child is going to be half Black. I'm not gonna let my child be treated the same way that I'm treated. I don't care, but then I know that it's gonna affect my child, and my child is always gonna feel like that part of them, the Black side, is not good enough. So I said that, I told Ingrid that I will let them get access to my child, but very limited access. And then Ingrid is the one who ended up making the final decision after she experienced the rest of the things. And she's like, I can't let my child be around these people.
Mind you, I was actually very racist when I moved to Richards Bay, because the Indian people where I come from don't respect Black people. But my first friend from Richards Bay was Black, and lovely lady actually. Only until I got with Daniel, I started realizing how much of the things that I was doing was toxic. Like, I would clench my handbag close to me when I walked past Black people, or I wouldn't necessarily trust Black kids around. And that was because it was normalized at my house. He really helped noticing like how racist people actually are. And I tried doing that with this specific family member who uses the K word, and they did not want to see. They did not want to change what they were doing. Yeah, they just said, no, I'm going to stand firm on how I want to talk. I think they think because they have money or their position in church, that was one of the reasons also that they could treat people below them. Because we live, of course, in the same area, it is a bit, I think, frustrating to know that it feels like someone's stalking me now, that I just got rid of the person and now they're showing up in a personal place of mine to come kind of harass me about something that I told them to fix.
I'm mostly just hurt for her side, because I would love it if people just change the way that they think and adjust to the new ways, and everything is just one big happy family. I think the main problem that we experience is that most people think that racism is you literally physically doing something to me. They think it's something big. But if we have a 5-minute or 10-minute conversation, people say such inappropriate things like 10 times. Like, they forget that I'm in the room.
I didn't want that. I didn't want my child to see the people that he loves the most disrespect his father. Before baby comes, I just want to clear everybody out that's not right. Culture shock for me, I think, I don't think it's really about the culture. I think it was about how loving his family is and how healthy they were. Like, I have a lot of respect for his family, specifically because of how his parents brought him up. And it's very different to how I was brought up. The food is okay. Food is very yummy. I love his mom's and his auntie's cooking. I really do like the salsa, and I think it's mrivo.
The one thing I experienced with Ingrid's family, I think that was like, huh? When Ingrid's white side of the family, right? When they are brine, they take wors, right? This is weird for me. They take wors, they cut it up, and then they spice it up sometimes. And then they take a piece of it before they put it on the braai stand, and then they just eat it raw. So Ingrid's mom actually took a piece of the wors and then she just shoved it into my mouth, and then I was like, I have to eat this. And then very nice. The reason why I would say there is not much of a difference in the culture is that my family, my dad, he was a very tribal man back in the day, and then he turned to Christianity. So he completely stopped us from doing anything cultural because father was a Sangoma, his grandfather was a Sangoma. He comes from a whole lineage of Sangomas, and they had like 600 cows. They were actually very wealthy, but they were like the biggest Sangomas in the district. So when he broke off the family, because he was supposed to be like kind of in line with those things, he completely made us Christian. We never did anything cultural from then onwards. Being raised a black person, it's not, there's love in the house a lot, right? Especially being raised a black man. So me saying the words, I love you, you express your love, but you don't say your love. After meeting Ingrid, you know, it showed me that I need to express my feelings more. So I say the words, I love you a lot more. I said it very loosely now.
So the pros of putting our relationship on social media, we get to tell people what we've been through, because I know a lot of people have experienced certain things, and we kind of want to show people that it's okay, that what they're going through. The pros are just knowing that we can help people out there. The cons, we get a lot of racist, inappropriate comments about us, about how we lived, especially on the 4.5. People don't seem to believe it, but it really was a tough part. And for me, a personal con is that people would approach me in public. Oh my gosh, I really don't like attention. So it's very awkward. I have a lot of or massive social anxiety. Like a little child came up to me when we were in Plet, and he was like, "Can I take a picture with you?"
That was
and
cute.
I was like, okay.
The cons, I think, it's just letting everybody know your life, which sometimes it's a bit weird because my job, I travel a lot. So sometimes I'll be in Nkandla, middle of a bush, and then I'll just meet this random person and they'll be like, "Oh, I know you from," and then they'll start asking me like, "Oh, how's your fiance? I saw that yesterday she was feeling pain." I'm like, whoa. I do not have any regrets about being online. I think it's beautiful. We're helping out a lot of people. We've gotten so many messages from different people who said that, you know, they've been stopping themselves from dating someone because of their race, and then they did it, and now they're the happiest they've ever been. And, you know, just knowing that we're inspiring so many people to just go out of their comfort zone and just go for it, and don't worry about what your economy or everybody around you, you know, your community, what they're thinking about. Just do it.
I do have a regret that I can't be more open about who these people are that are treating us this way. Someone had commented on one of Daniel's friends had commented, and I think one of our people who watch us went to attack the person. And I know that if we had to mention names or specific family members, of course they would get threats, and a lot of these people know who my family is. So it's really nice to know that these people would stand up for me, because my family didn't stand up for me, and my only regret is that I can't let it happen.
You're incite violence. If I would describe our relationship, I would use the word agape. Agape means God's love, and everything that Ingrid and I have been through, it's been agape. Everything has been God. Like literally nothing has been in our control. As much as we try to say it is, we try to act to the best of our abilities, but then sometimes we do wrong things. But then somehow in the end of it, God just makes a way for it to work out. Everything.
I was gonna say peaceful. I've never felt this calm being with somebody. I'm most grateful for Daniel, there's a lot that I put him through, and I always ask him, like, why? So I'm very grateful that he stuck by my side and he's on my side. I've never had anyone on my side before.
I'm very grateful that everything that she does, actually, she's built me to be a man. If you saw me 2 years ago, I was not the person that I am today. But everything, she's taught me so many things about being a man and so many things that she does for me. She did try to get a retail job to, help out support, and because I was only earning for 4.5, but then I told her to not work. She's just always there, she's just always there. I can have a tough day outside, come back home, I know that there's peace at home. I know that there's love at home. And yeah, as a man, just knowing that you got a woman just who got you, no matter what. Whether I go out and I come back bankrupt, she doesn't care. It's beautiful. I love you.